All right, no, you're good. They have a little setup, these guys. Please welcome, from Farm Builders, the founders of Farm Builders, Jacob Donnelly and Brian Cowett.
Hey, everybody else. Hi, I'm Brian Cowett.
And I'm Jacob Donnelly, and we're starting Farm Builders.
In the course of our work in Liberia, we've met many inspiring people. Here's a photo of Roger and his wife, Vivian. In the 70s, Roger's father planted 10 acres of rubber. That's about enough to make about 400 of these tires per year. But the war drove Roger and his wife, Vivian, from their farm. Now they're back. They want to replant so their children can have a better future. In Liberia, banks lend to large plantations. They won't lend to the Shermans. They say the farm is too small and the Shermans aren't creditworthy. It's almost as if they're all alone.
But they're not, because when we were in Liberia, we also met the Jeffreys, the Hills, and the Massacoys. In fact, we surveyed over 300 farmers, all in the same position. They need about an average of $15,000 per farm. Too large for microcredit, too small for a commercial bank.
Farm Builders is a development partner to help Liberian farmers invest in their future. We connect them to markets, we aggregate them into cooperatives, and we provide marketing and training services within the framework of a credit program tailored to the long production cycle of tree crops such as cocoa, oil palm, and rubber.
This summer, we're launching with our first 120 farms, creating 300 jobs in the rural communities. But this is just a small fraction of the total need in Liberia, estimated at over 70,000 families. With Echoing Green, we can scale.
Our goal is to alleviate poverty in Liberia. Please join with us in investing in entrepreneurs like the Shermans. Together, we can set Liberia on the road to a brighter future.
Fantastic, thank you. We have two more. Please welcome Ushni Monat from Enzi.
Hi, I'm Ashni from Enzi. This piece of paper costs $100,000. Yet this piece of paper also means greater lifetime earnings and higher quality of life for its owner, Santosh. This certificate confirms his Stanford Master's in Electrical Engineering. Coming from a middle-class family in India, he could not meet the exorbitant cost of US higher education. Being foreign, he could not get federal loans, and private loans require US citizen co-signers he didn't have. Loans back home had high rates and required collateral. This brilliant student was struggling to find the funds to finish his degree. Many students, both foreign and domestic, struggle to meet the cost of US higher education, which rose over 400% in 15 years. Enzi helps remove the financial barrier by letting people invest in students' education in return for a share in their future income for a fixed period of time, shorter than typical private loan terms. Enzi students have access to career services like mentorship, recruiting dinners, and opportunities to network with people and companies who invest in them. We recently closed a pilot fund with support from Stanford and law firm Orrick. Santosh is our first fellow. Last fall, Warren Buffett made an offer to Columbia business students. I would pay $100,000 for 10% of the future earnings of any of you. If that's true, you're $1 million asset right now. Imagine such a world where people's future earnings can be used as an asset, where no one is excluded from education because they lack credit history or financial assets, where you can invest directly in human talent. Please help us create a new social asset class that values human potential and moves financial markets. Thank you.
Fantastic. You could feel the passion. I mean, you could feel it from across the room in every one of these. Last but certainly not least, the founders of Shining Hope for Communities. Please welcome Jessica Posner and Kennedy Odede.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Odede.
And I'm Jessica Posner, and we're co-founders of Shining Hope for Communities.
I was born and raised in Kibera slums, Kenya, the largest slum in Africa, where 1.5 million people live in the area size of Central Park. I watched my mother struggling to feed her 8 children. I watched my sister becoming pregnant at 16 after being raped. I watched little girls like Lucy being forced to sell their body for food. I have listened to my mother. I have listened to my sisters, to my fellow community members, and I know firsthand what's needed to transform my community. And it all begins with women and girls.
Our innovative model combats gender inequality and extreme poverty by placing women at the center of development. We link tuition-free schools for girls to accessible services for all. This concrete link between girls' schools and services increases the value placed on women because community members come to associate desperately needed services with an institution dedicated to girls' education. This incentive structure changes attitudes by improving livelihoods for the whole community.
In just 1 year, we have reached over 5,000 Kibera residents. And with your help, Kibera is just the beginning. There is a desperate need for our model in the slums, like Soweto, South Africa, Mumbai, India, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We bring hope for women because through women, we bring hope to the entire community. Please join us.
So that was 10 90-second pitches that would impact millions of lives for generations. There's 15 others you didn't get to hear tonight. By the way, those 10 were chosen by their peers. All 25 finalists voted. And each had 2 votes, and they selected those 10. And any of the 25 could stand up here on the stage and blow us away, certainly blow me away.